Now we'll go on to the next topic, that is diarrhea, protein energy malnutrition and vitamin deficiencies. What is diarrhea? Diarrhea is an increased frequency with liquidity of fecal discharges. Some parents might say that my child is having diarrhea more. So how do you define diarrhea? It is mainly increased frequency. So the number of times will be more than 3. With liquidity, it will be watery of fecal discharges. There are 3 causes: dietary, infective, parenteral. Dietary is mainly any overfeeding. Some parents will be overfeeding their children, imbalanced diet, deficiency of disaccharides such as lactose. Some children might give diluted milk, more of diluted cow's milk with 1:1 proportion, that can cause diarrhea. Infective, bacterial, viral and fungus. Bacterial examples are E. coli, Shigella and Salmonella. Viral are enterovirus, Norwalk virus, and we have rotavirus. Fungus, mainly Candida albicans. Parenteral causes are any urinary tract infection, otitis media, or upper respiratory tract infection. Coming on to the predisposing factors, infants are very susceptible. They easily can get diarrhea. Any child who is from a low socioeconomic status, because of the poor environmental conditions, they can have diarrhea. Malnutrition, because the immunity is less, they can easily be susceptible. And unhygienic feeding habits, when they are not prepared fresh foods, when they get food from outside, when they don't cover the food, all these unhygienic feeding habits or poor hand washing, all these can also cause diarrhea. Repeated infections in children, such as as I told you, any upper respiratory or urinary tract infection can reduce the immunity. Later they can have secondary diarrheal infections. Clinical manifestation, they can have fluid electrolyte imbalances, especially in sodium and potassium. Fever, anorexia. Anorexia is poor appetite, vomiting, mucus, pus or blood in the stools. Restlessness and irritability, they can be very irritable. Children might look pale and weak and they can have tachycardia. Some of the complications are dehydration, which is the most common complication. Others are abdominal distension, renal failure, circulatory failure, otherwise called shock, thrombophlebitis, convulsions, intussusception, bronchopneumonia and malnutrition. Children after diarrhea can become malnourished. Investigation, you get a history of what happened, how many episodes of loose stool, the color of the stool and the consistency of the stool. All these have to be collected. Second one is stool examination. You can send the stool for routine, mainly to look for any ova, cyst, WBCs, any blood, all that mucus, all that can be looked for, or a stool culture can be done. Blood urea nitrogen to look for any signs of renal failure, and serum pH. The treatment is mainly supportive care. We need to maintain the balance, the fluid electrolyte that is lost. So in mild diarrhea, you can give 300 ml of ORS, and in moderate diarrhea, if it is 10% diarrhea, 200 ml per kg per day. You just can give oral fluids and ORS and no need of IV fluids when they have mild diarrhea. If it is the management, as I already told you, is with oral rehydration solution. If it is severe dehydration, more than 10% weight loss, you can give IV fluids. Initially, you will give to 225 ml per kg per day for over 50% of fluids over 6 hours, and then remaining 25% in next 4 hours. Other management, if they have blood and mucus, it's otherwise called dysentery, then you go in for antibiotics, sedatives and adsorbents. Management is mainly you need to teach the mother about disinfecting and disposing excreta. You should tell them to wash hands after cleaning the child, or washing the child. In children with no vomiting, you need to observe for signs of dehydration, looking for vital signs, skin changes and behavioral changes. Look and mainly you need to assess the characteristic of the stools, the number of stools, the frequency, the amount, the consistency, and they can, because of the constant fluid loss or diarrhea, they can have skin excoriation. So mainly you need to take care of the skin at the perineum and change the diaper frequently. Comfort the child. You need to give bath every day Nutritional status should be maintained by giving adequate calorie food. Once the loose stools have stopped, see that you can give high protein and high calorie diet. Parental advice is to follow cleanliness, to follow hand washing, and to monitor for early signs of diarrhea and dehydration and use of ORS. Now, what are the signs of dehydration? Mainly, if you see in small children,